Today we're staying at Whippoorwill Farms. It's a rejuvenating farm.
Yeah, it's down here in South Carolina, and it's a bit cold, but we're going to check out everything that nature can provide. So it's an amazing place.
It's what you're doing, it's making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling. There's no one else here that I see but you. It's what you're doing, it's making me feel like I'm falling. Yeah, I'm falling in love.
Now, Whippoorwill Farms is a working, legitimate, rejuvenating farm, and we're going to show you more about that. But the special thing is they do their part to help throughout the community. And so not only do they provide a number of different farm-based products, but also some other services we'll show you. James and Marissa bought this 40-acre spread and upgraded their 2-acre farm. It wasn't too long ago. This was a completely natural condition property, meaning that this is what it looked like before they got here. No roads, no utilities, no structures, no pens, nothing. And they were able to put all of this into place in 30 days because they had 30 days to get out of their current location. So pretty impressive to see how they were able to make this a livable location in such a short period of time.
So previously we had a 2-acre piece of property that James and I purchased in 2015. So it's been 6 years, and we started raising food for ourselves. I really cared about the environment. I cared about animal welfare, and I really wanted to make sure that I was pregnant at the time, so that our daughter, grew up with knowing where her food came from, understanding hard work, understanding like practices that are better for the environment, but also just not being in like a consumeristic society where everything's mainstream and everybody does the same things. And so when we started raising food for ourselves, I really started feeling like I was doing something for the planet. I was doing something for our family. I was, doing something for the greater good. So we run our animals through the woods is the big thing that we do, right? And so what we're working on is reestablishing a working ecosystem. And so here you see the pigs, and they're running through this section of forest, and we move them almost every week to a new section of forest space, depending on the season and the weather. I mean, we've had like 2 weeks of nonstop rain, so right now we're working with a lot of wet, and so we've left a previous section open for them to be able to go back to that has like a lot of bedding and a lot of hay. But basically they, along with the goats, the cows, and the chickens, work in the wooded environment to help us break down and decompose the leaves and all of the organic matter buildup and expose the soil. While they're doing that, they're coming in here and they are, like the goat, tearing up seedlings and breaking tree limbs down, and opening up the forest canopy a little bit. Now we do come in and we open slightly, but the goal is never to come in and just clear cut. And so everything that we do on the farm is based on the environment first, okay? So we know that climate change is happening. We know that global warming isn't just mean that the earth, like that the temperatures are climbing. It's talking about our atmosphere, and that's real. And what's happening is the more deforestation that happens, the more that we are not giving soil a chance to sequester carbon, and we're not leaving healthy soils, the more that our environment is going to continue to rise in temperature, our atmosphere, the more crazy weather events are going to be happening. And so for us, we wanted to do something that assisted in keeping the climate on a better path. And so instead of coming in and clear cutting, we leave our trees, and the trees help cool the environment. So transpiration cooling is really important for cooling the environment. They release vapors, and those vapors cool the air. And so not only on the top surface of our farm where our animals are is it much cooler, but also underneath of the ground is much healthier. So we talk about like conventional farming,
Mm-hmm.
but like tilling up our soil is one of the biggest things that kills the microbes in the soil. And even though it seems like a good idea to aerate the soil, to an extent, sure, but after a while, you're just disturbing those microbe habitats so much that they're not even functioning anymore. They're kind of like laying dormant. And so out in our garden, like with our rows, once we establish like the initial bed, we won't go back and till again. So we just continue to add like compost, mulching, cardboard, coconut coir, and all like the soil amendments, maybe leaf mulch, anything that is like an organic material, we just lay it back on there, and we don't go through and till up the soil again. Once it's established, we'll go in and loosen it, you know, with like a pitchfork or a rake or a hoe or something, but we never go back through and till. We just have a good support system, and it's taken us a while, you know, to build the business and get our name out there, but it's finally starting to pay off. Earlier today, I was at a garden consultation for a community garden in one of the plantations. So, you know, I just went and looked at their garden, met with the community club and the members and answered questions they might have. And, you know, so just trying to be a leader in the community, I guess, is a big goal of mine. And maybe someday even, you know, other farmers across the country might look to me for, you know, things that we tried on our land or whatever. So just trying to innovate and teach people about, you know, what the future of our land and our earth looks like really is super important to me.
In addition to all of the incredible lessons that we learned from Marissa, we also were able to participate in a 40-minute long meditation session that was hosted right there on the farm. Now, let's be honest, the most enjoyable part of the trip was the interaction that we had with the animals, especially the goats. Those guys are crazy. This was probably one of the favorite things we did on our one-year trip around the United States. Whippoorwill Farms is located in Hardeeville, South Carolina, and they're really close to Savannah, Georgia, one of the top tourist destinations in the United States. Now, we found the farm through Harvest Host, but they also have more of the premium spots, which we actually decided to take advantage of. So the spots are gravel, they're really level, they've got water and electricity, both 30 and 50 amp are available. And they actually have some pretty clean outhouses you could use if you're going to be staying here for, you know, more than a few days, since you do not have a septic line. But the 3 different spots are very spacious. They come with a bench and a fire ring. And as you can see, we're set up right here. If you don't have your own RV, they actually have one you can rent on the property. It's an old retro by Riverside that's been fully refurbished, and it's available to spend a night or two in. And if you want to stay the night, we've already talked about some of those options. Or if you just are going to be in the area for the day, make sure you stop in. You can learn a lot. You can play with these incredible goats, and you can actually support them and their cause by purchasing some of their organic whole foods. If you enjoyed this video, do us a favor and hit the like button. And if you want to continue following Forever Honeymooning's adventure, then hit the subscribe button as well as the bell for notifications. And every time we post a new video, you'll be notified. We appreciate you watching. We hope that you get out there and enjoy the adventure like we have.